All right, guys, this is a special episode of What's Next. So, what's next for Valentina Shevchenko after the UFC 228 fallout, where Nico Montano basically just took a piss and decided to let her fears take over? Let her fears, let her mind and all of that, just it took over. It took over. She literally put herself in the hospital with just from being afraid of the fight and letting the whole nerves and the whole enormity of it just get to her. So what's next for Valentina, though? Because yeah, Nico is in the hospital. Nobody wants to see anything bad happen to her, but we got to move on with this because we everybody knows that this is a joke. Everybody knows that this is just an absolute shit show with Nico, and we're over it. We're over it. So what's next for Valentina? She's really the one who's just the victim here. She's been chasing around a girl that she doesn't even care about, want to know. She's been chasing her around for the better part of a year, looking for a fight, looking for the belt. So, Valentina's done 3 fight camps to fight for this flyweight championship belt, and she hasn't been able to fight. Now, the UFC has been pretty good to Valentina. They did say, look, they've stripped Nico. Nico is stripped, and they have told Valentina for sure that she will be fighting for the belt. She'll be fighting for that vacant belt. She will be fighting for the vacant belt. So she's still up there. She's still the contender, and they've worked out what's going to happen so that this can happen a little bit faster. They have figured out what to do just to get it in the running. From what I read, they said that Valentina will be fighting later this year for the vacant belt. Okay, so that's as much as I know, but you guys know what this series is about. What's next is about what contender, who is the next opponent? What's the next bout agreement that's getting sent over? We know it's a championship bout agreement, but now let's try to suss out who exactly is the contender. The flyweight division was still kind of sorting itself out. It was still sorting itself out a little bit because there were 3 people who kind of rose to the top of this new division. Caitlin Chikugian she came in at the top. She came into the division already a little bit at the top because her record is just so good. She's 11-1. A girl who's 11-1, 5-1 in the UFC. You can't deny that she is championship contender material. Whether you like her or not, you just can't deny it. You can't deny it. She's not the most exciting fighter to me, but it's undeniable. It just is. She is a much better fighter. Now that she's down at flyweight, let's just see what happens. At flyweight, she's 2-0. So at flyweight, she's 2-0. She just had a big win over Alexis Davis. All of that holds weight. Strength of resume, all of that holds weight. So I have to be honest, Caitlin Chikugian is up there. She's one of the options for what's next for Valentina. Who else is up there? Now, initially, I would never have said that this person was up there, but after doing my last video about her and her next bout, it made me realize what was going on. And this person is Jessica Eye. What I'm realizing with her is that she really has revamped her game. And I just have to give her I got to give her props, really. She's a mediocre fighter to me, but I have to give her props because she's 2-0 in flyweight. She's 2-0 in the flyweight division. So she also has the same flyweight record that Caitlin Chikugian has, right? This is a new division, so they're all going to be quite similar. And then also Jessica Eye managed to talk herself into a fight with Sarge Eubanks. And then on top of that, Jessica Eye, she knows somebody. She knows somebody. She's been able to make her name. She's been able to become a veteran in the UFC without doing much, without winning fights, without being that exciting of a fighter. She's just managed to get it. So she is a UFC veteran. She is a UFC veteran. So she is an option. And then definitely always an option is Sarge Eubanks. I believe that Sarge Eubanks is probably the person that they would want to fight Valentina, right? I think it would be Sarge Eubanks. Sarge has only had 1 fight, though, since Tough. Sarge just had a rocky road. Sarge was on the same unprofessional bandwagon of a lot of these fighters with the weight cutting thing and the medically being pulled because you can't make weight and all of this stuff. It's like, that was just like, it took a little bit of the wind out of her sails. But Sarge, still, people wanted to believe in Sarge. Just put it that way. People want to believe in Sarge. So Sarge is 1-0 in flyweight. Her next bout is, I believe it's November 30th against Jessica Eye. If she can beat Jessica Eye, she's definitely next in line. If she can beat her in spectacular fashion too, which shouldn't be difficult. But if she can beat her, then she's next in line, I think. I think it'll be Sarge. Yeah. But the thing is, Jessica, I might go in there and beat Sarge. Jessica, I might go in there and give Sarge a L. So I have to say that what's next for Valentina Shevchenko is the winner. But they said that Valentina's going to be fighting this year. Okay, now I have to rethink it. Since Jessica Eye and Sarge Eubanks are fighting on November 30th, I believe that that's a contender match to figure out who the contender is to fight in 2019. I think the person who they're going to tap to fight Valentina Shevchenko is Katlyn Chookagian. I think it's going to be Katlyn Chookagian. That is the only option for her. I want to see Valentina this year too. I also want to see her this year. I want to see her either on the, give her the Nate Diaz card. Give her the Nate Diaz card. I'm going to be pumped about just seeing Nate Diaz anyways. Give her the end of the year card. Even though I think that I'm not sure how many spots are left on the end of the year card, but one of the big cards, I mean, all the cards coming up now, they are kind of big. UFC 230, Nate Diaz, UFC 231. That's going to be in Toronto. And the Canadian cards are, I don't know. Actually, they've gotten some dud fights recently in Canada, but we'll see. Either way, I just hope that we can see her, definitely see her this year. They said they're going to get her in there this year. And I think that what's next for Valentina Shevchenko is Katlyn Chookagian. Katlyn Chookagian has quietly and slowly just been building up her record. Nobody's quite aware that this girl is only dropped one fight in the UFC when you think about it. This is a great fight. Also, if they do tap Katlyn Chookagian, great type of fighter to fight Valentina, if that makes sense. Great type of fighter to fight Valentina. She's rangy, foot movement, head movement. Now, we all saw Valentina go in there and clip up Holly Holm, which is basically, Katlyn Chookagian is like, kind of like has that Holly Holm style. But it would be a great fight. I think it'd be a way better fight than Nico anyways. Definitely would be a way better fight because Chookagian is actually seasoned. She's seasoned. I wouldn't call her a veteran or anything, but she's seasoned. Anyways, that is my pick for what's next for Valentina Shevchenko after this UFC 228 fallout where Nico Montano basically pissed in the punch bowl at the party. Anyways, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section.